All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our TensorFlow course, and we're still doing our training and optimization module. Let's have a look at what we went over today. Yesterday, if you recall, we went over the process of updating our MNC, so we compute our errors to get a new error, so we can add and run this program. And we're going to pick up where we left off with that. So as a recap, we see that we have our inputs and we have our outputs. We have MNC, that's our model parameters. We pass our inputs using initialized MNC. We get outputs, we compute a loss, and that is the difference between what we're actually supposed to get and what our model predicts. We could use a square or an absolute value function. We get this loss, the y predicted, and based on this loss, we modify these values, and then we repeat the same process on our training converges. Our training convergence simply means we've attained a point where our loss doesn't increase anymore. So if we have training like this, we could get to a point that we keep on training. That is, we keep on repeating the gradient descent step, which we've seen already, where we update by doing W equals W minus a learning rate times 2L over DW. And this is what it looks like here. W equals W, take away zero point 0.1 times 2L over DW. Note that zero point 0.1 is just a random learning rate we selected for this example. So we repeat this step, which we've seen before, and if our loss doesn't change much or at all, then our model has converged and we can stop training at that point. This is our model here, X input model, our M and C are our model parameters, Y take away YP, and we repeat the process on our model. Now, as usual, TensorFlow does all of this for us. And here we have a model fit. This is the model that we're going to run. This is what we're going to run after we do our, which one do we run here? Let me go over here on the data preparation. Our mean absolute value. So we ran these two together. First, we ran the mean absolute value, and then we ran the model fit. And this is going to be our output here. Let me show you. There's a lot of information. This is all the information right here. You can see all of our epics. Let me break down what the epic is for you before we move too far on. Okay, in the epic or number of epics here is specified. This is the number of times we are going to update our weights. So the number of times we are going to go through the gradient descent step. And for the verbose, which has to do with outputs from training steps. So this is our epic here. We have 100, and our verbose is 1. And we ran that after we ran our mean absolute value, and this is all the information we got back. As you can see, our values are dropping gradually. I'll go down for you as much as I can. So our values are getting lower and lower, trying to get to a point where we have no more losses. And it's quite a bit. So yeah, as you can see here, notice that because our variable equals 1, we are able to get these kinds of outputs. So here in real time, we are able to see that the value of our losses are dropping. And we go from one epoch to another, we are able to get the mean absolute values or mean absolute errors, which is an absolute value of our model predictions or the absolute value of the difference between our model predictions and the actual current price. That's what we went over this morning, a lot of that. But yeah, if you keep on following, I'll keep you guys posted. For now, it's the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.